Edge Technology Screens. Our second company is the Black Series Edition.com. We been talking about this quite a bit. I've been talking about this with other people in other forum sites. Move that chair out of the way. About gray and white screens see contrast. And the answer is nope. They do not. They cannot see a real contrast level. It's virtually impossible because, again, the screens are too light. They pick up too much heavy white level. We talked about how gray screens do not pick up the high white level as they claim to do. Silver screens do that. Silver screens pick up a much heavier white level, higher white level. Let me put my fan off over here right now. All right. Now the problem you have is that people think because the projector has the capability of a 20,000. We have a 20,000 to 1 sitting here in the house. My ViewSonic's a 20,000 to 1 projector. Matter of fact, both of them are. But they feel that the projector has a high contrast capability. They're going to be to pick up the contrast level. That's a complete lie. It's not going to happen. Projection screen companies should explain that to you, that you're not going to be to pick it up. You won't be to see a real contrast level until you physically hit a black screen. And then by then, the contrast level you paid for is pretty much useless. Mine's turned off on all my units because there's no point in having it on. Screens are already black. That's something you're going to have with the gray screen, more like not too much for gunmetal technology. It's a little darker. So, I mean, it does add a little bit of a perk to it, but still you technically really don't need it. They're really dark screens. They're almost near black. But as for the white screen, gray screens, they have to have it because, again, they have that issue with contrast. Now, mind you, we don't have any lights on. I just have my lights. This is coming from my kitchen. That's how bright the kitchens are. So I'm showing you demonstrations of my tabletop screen. That's how much light the kitchen is generating right now. So this is all we have in here. And as you can see, the screens are having a very difficult time picking up the contrast level. Let's start and see right there. See? Now we got a white screen right there, and we got several different shades of gray products. Hold on for a minute, my table stopped playing. My table literally stopped playing. There we go. Sorry. Got some, watching some shows off the table. So as I showed you right here, how many people say that in a day? I'm watching a show off the table. Anyway, as you can see right here, no, you're not going to be able to pick up a contrast level. It's sad because, again, there are some people that will lie to you and tell you that you are contrast level when you do not have that capability. It is never going to happen. I don't care what kind of projector you buy. So, as you can see, we don't have the overhead lights on. We're just using the lights from the kitchen, and the several different shades of gray and white screen cannot see the star field. Doesn't register. So this is why when I see demonstrations on dark environments, trying to use projectors with higher contrast capabilities to fool the customer, to make them think that they're seeing a contrast level when they're not actually seeing anything at all. It doesn't have that capability to do it. And if I'm wrong in this demonstration, I would really love to enjoy to see someone display a contrast level in a fully lit environment. Keep in mind, you see my chair sitting there, that black leather chair? You see the side of my screen? You see that they match? We do not want to see that, or that pulling up next to the side of the screen. Because that tells us at the end of the day that the screen is not seeing the contrast level, it's seeing gray. If your screen is pulling 100% black, anything you have in the environment that's black, it's going to blend to the screen. That's why the first thing I look at when people claim, and I've been in rooms before, people have claimed to have black screens in there, and we'll look at the screen and I'll look at the environment of why is your screen coming up gray? No, it's producing black, or your furniture is not matching the screen. Your speakers are not matching the screen. There's something wrong there. They just leave the room. There's no point in arguing something that you can't win. But as for the biggest lie I've ever seen told, of telling people that they can pick up a contrast level off a screen of this complexion is a big lie. Never going to happen. Even elite screens, the certified screens, know this at the end of the day. There's no way in the world. If they have a screen this color in their collection, it's never going to compare to the dark gunmetal technology that is considered to be the most advanced version of their technology, which is the darker screens. I've never seen a projection screen to this day sit there and say, well, the best technology we have are the lighter screens. Not one. It's always a darker technology. So, how can someone get on camera, jump on YouTube, and make a statement that a gray screen can see a contrast level equal to a black screen, but yet never see any demonstrations on it? We see try attempts, but never see any long demonstrations on that being done because it can't be done. It's virtually impossible. OLED black level test, YouTube. Bring our stand for a little bit. Now, another thing we're going to be talking about is a gray screen and white screen ambient light projection technology. No, they can't be. It's virtually impossible. They don't have the ability to become ambient light projection technology. And this is the reason why they have to be stuck in the dark, because the minute you turn the lights on, they wash out. Now, this demonstration, you see that white bar going up and down? Our screen has to be able to pick that up. It also has to pick up the contrast level behind it. The gray screens have to pick up the contrast level. Also have to pick up that little white dot that's moving back and forth. So as you can see, the gray screens, white screens cannot see the contrast level, but they can see the white dot, where our screen can see the white dot and the contrast levels at the same time. Turn the lights on. Let's make this a little bit more interesting. I'm used to working in much more light, that's why. So now they have to deal with the light coming from the kitchen, and they're going to have to deal with the light over top. Means the screens will wash out even faster. And then with an additional 5,000 lumens coming out of my projector, they wash out even faster. But still, our screens can see the white dot, and we can see the black level at the same time. So this is why, when we do searches and we go on YouTube to track down videos that can produce one, we just need one, to show a demonstration on a gray screen producing a heavy black level, not gray, a black level, something that matches my recliner over there. We don't find anything. Now, the people I deal with who make these products will say that the contrast levels are fair. They would never state that the contrast levels come up equal to a black screen. Not even equal to gunmetal technology. And for those of you posting as if you have gunmetal technology, that's another thing we need to talk about. You do not have gunmetal technology. Gunmetal technology is literally so dark that it's mistaken for black screens. A perfect gunmetal screen is a screen that's right on the edge of being black, but not black. Those are perfect gunmetal screens. What you're displaying is charcoal gray. That's what you're displaying. For instance, the OLED horse. This is one particular part. Can't register, can't pick it up. Remind you, we're on 5,000 lumens. Plenty of power. It's a venue projector behind me, not a home projector, a company venue commercial projector. They're used in much more restricted environments, and it won't pull. Let's go with some visual effects. Nope, we're not doing that. Let me get something. So there we go. Doesn't see visual effects. So gray and white screens don't work on mapping technology. Pointless. They don't work for visual effects. Pointless. Can't display them to ceilings. You can't display them to floors because they can't pick up. Outside use? No, they don't work outside either. They don't work on ultra short throws. They don't work on long throws. They don't work on pico projectors. They don't pick on portable projectors. They don't pick up because they can't see a contrast level. They can't see a contrast level where everything else falls in line with it. Now they can pick up a white level, but they don't pick up a high white level as they claim to do because silver screens do that. Now, the reason why we mentioned the gray screen, because we have customers that will go out, get a white screen, find out later on it's not what they think it's going to be. They'll go to Home Depot or Lowe's to buy themselves a great product, mix it, put it together, paint it on the screen, find out it's still doing the same thing. And then they contact us. This is for my customer, dealing with customers down through time. And the first thing they'll say is, if I turn the lights on, the screen washes out, the colors don't pick up correctly, the image looks poor. If they want to go get that dark technology in order to get the best out of the projector, it's going to cost them a lot of money, $3,000, $5,000 for a screen. Then they come down to our technology, where our technology can not only beat the certified screens, no problem, but also too, we cost far less. Let's do the Sony pinball. Now, for those of you who doubt what I say, feel free to visit the website. Check out the many test demonstrations, just on every level you can possibly think of. We got a page actually dedicated for 1,000 lumen projectors on displays on all our products. As a matter of fact, in the links of every shopping cart, there are test demonstrations displayed. And as for certified screens, yeah, we have beat the certified screens that we could get our hands on. The rest of them, well, we're just going to leave it at that. Now, this is a 120-inch screen, 16:9. Can you imagine you using this screen at this size in your living room or movie room, and you have a 5,000 lumen projector sitting behind you at 1920 by 1200, a WXGA, and it can't even see the screen at 5,000 lumens. Can't even pick up the Sony logo. This is why contrast is everything. One here playing with the table. Here we go. I got a table projection demonstration just a few minutes ago. Let's see. You know what to be doing all that. All that. You know that. All right, let me see. Let's play basic, simple LG OLED demonstration. I see this a lot, and the great products. And the reason why is because this is an area where they feel that they can pull a contrast level and get away with it. Well, we're in a fully lit environment. Let's see what happens. Now, for any one of them, you want to sit there and say, oh, this is not true. Well, we have several great products up here. Feel free to pick them up. Feel free to do the exact same demonstration I'm doing. I'm pretty sure it shouldn't be a problem. Oh, by the way, let me tell you what we have. Bullseye primer, great primer, network gray 773, and a 39-cent hobby paint that I picked up on Amazon. And feel free to do a comparison, because what I don't see enough of, I never see comparison videos. I always see standalone. So they'll take a projector, stick it in a pointed environment, do a standalone, there'll be nothing against the screen, and then they'll make accusations that, hey, this stuff works. No, it doesn't. It doesn't work at all. As a matter of fact, I guarantee it'll match at least one of these screens up here with no problem. Now, the reason why some will stay away from this, because they have already matched a couple of gray house paints already. And this is something they're not going to go near with a 10-foot pole. Especially if there's slip silver in there, they're definitely not going near it. But now the worst one than slip silver is that one on that far end. That is a hobby paint at 39 cents for every 8 ounces. So, We have to put that in there. We may have to start making that a challenge. Before I leave from here, I think we should. Why not? I don't see the problem of why they should not be doing these demonstrations. You need to know at the end of the day, are you getting what you paid for? Are you getting a house paint, or could you just mimic the entire thing by just using a hobby paint, bullseye primer, or a house paint? Now, in order for me to be out there among those people that are going to be in my face every day, I got to show that my technology works. That's why we have tons of demonstrations on our products versus black paint, black fabric, black clothing, everything you could think of, we thrown against that screen. So I got the confidence of knowing I'm good. But as for these great products out here, how do you even know what you're getting? Is there a page I can go to check out these tests? There isn't. So you don't know what you're getting. All right, let's come out of here, because right there, as you can see. Let's go check out, let me see. We need some darker levels in here. Ooh, fireworks display. That's fantastic. Can you imagine if OLED made a cell phone? That'd be interesting. Of course, you get that amazing black screen from the door. I love when I get to forum sites and I'll hear people talk about how their gray screens are this, that, and the other. And I ask the question like, what color is your cell phone screen? Is it gray or is it black? Computer monitors in the house, TVs, any of that stuff. What color are they? Are they gray or black? They're black. So why do you have a gray screen sitting on your wall? An outdated dinosaur. I'm pretty sure you'd be pretty upset if you went and purchased an OLED TV, got it home, cracked the box, and found out the screen was gray. You'd be upset. You'd run back to the store and say, this is supposed to be black. And if they ask, why is this supposed to be black? Because of the contrast levels. It picks up darker. Oh, there you go. So why do you have a gray screen sitting on your wall? You have an up-to-date projector, but you got a prehistoric screen. And don't be fooled in thinking that because your projector has all these bells and whistles that's going to help you, because it will not help you. You cannot utilize anything in your projector unless you have the screen to help you utilize it. You only get 50% of your projector. That's all you get. The other half comes from the screen. If that was the case, then, and projectors were that, did all that stuff in the day, why would you spend $3,000? Why would you spend money for our stuff? Just go buy yourself a cheap white screen. You can do the same thing. But you can't, because it affects the projector. That's why. Nope, don't need to be there. Yeah, it's having a hard time picking up color. They can't see color either. We're not talking about that today. They don't register color. No, 5,000. Let me see one. This is why when you see my intro of my video showing the church, they're using a 7,000 lumen projector. They're hitting a white screen with it. Nothing's coming up. That's 7,000 lumens. Because people make the mistake of thinking that if I get a high enough caliber projector with enough lumens, the image is going to be on those lumens. It's going to travel across the room, fighting all the light in the environment. It's going to make contact with the screen, and I'm going to see that image because I got a much more higher lumen. That's a huge lie. It's not going to happen. What's going to happen is you're going to introduce an extra 5,000 lumens to your screen that's already suffering from the light in the environment already, and you'll wash it out even faster. And all those perks, those bells and whistles in that projector, you're not going to see any of that at all, period. That's the sad thing about it is when they show you projectors, they don't explain that to you that you have to spend money for a very expensive screen to do that. Do you think in those demonstrations that they're using these products at the end of the day? If they were using our product, they wouldn't have to spend the money for the projector. It wouldn't be necessary. They're using certified expensive screens in their demonstrations. And this is why when you get home and you set it up, it doesn't look the same. You got to go out and spend the money for that screen first before you can get that picture quality to look like that. You own the projector, you just don't have the screen. And that means that's going to be an additional $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 out of your pocket. This is why when we try to find people to match the promo demonstrations, they can't match the promo demonstrations. It's virtually impossible unless you own the actual screen that's being used in the promo. That's a shame too. Make you believe that you're actually going to get the same quality off that projector when you get it home. Oh, that's not going to happen. Your image is going to wash out, color's going to wash out. And then when you call them and contact them and say, well, you have to be in an ambient light controlled environment. So now you got to darken your environment to basically use a projector and screen. And if your colors aren't coming out correctly, then what do you be doing next? You will be calibrating. You got to calibrate your colors to get them just right. Well, that's messed up. Let's see where we can go right from here. Let's go with QLED, black contrast demonstrations, YouTube. Oh, that's a good one right there. And I hear it all the time when customers call me, well, I bought this projector and it has a 1:1 contrast, has 50,001 contrast, it has 20,000, but the screen's still washed out. Yeah, your projector has that capability, your screen just doesn't have it. That's the problem. But mine has so many million colors, and yet you got to calibrate because your colors don't come up. They're washed out. But I got 4,000 lumens, got 5,000 lumens. I should be able to see it in a fully lit environment. You know that's not going to happen because you're just introducing more light to the screen. You're washing out even faster. Like what's happening right now at 5,000 lumens. The screen's washing out. Gray screen can't see it. It's washing out. When we get the chance to pick up our 20,000 8K projector, which I will be picking one up, I need that for commercial use because companies want to see it on a larger, on a more advanced projector. I'll hit a gray screen with that thing and watch that thing turn into a white sheet of paper at 20,000 lumens. It don't work. So if you have one of these screens, you have already failed your setup already from the door. And if you don't believe me, hey, all you have to do is turn all your lights on, brighten up that environment, just like, like you would have it every single day. Get rid of all them, brighten up, and then take a Starfield demonstration, and then take any kind of black paper, doesn't make a difference, and stick that against your screen and see what happens. See where your contrast, where your color washes out on your screen. And you'll be turning the lights out again, going back into the dark, because it's not going to pick up. Now, the sad thing about it is, like I said, you have individuals that will lie to you and tell you that you're going to see these contrast levels, and you're not going to see it. And this is why they do demonstrations in the dark. The whole purpose of an ultra short throw projector, like I said, it works like a TV. It's supposed to react like a TV. And then on top of that, you're supposed to be able to maintain a much more brighter and sharper image because there's no distance throw. You're sitting right up on top of the screen. So the chance of you basically losing your brightness and your picture quality due to the environment washing out and due to you losing your lumen counts is because the projector literally sits so close to the screen. So the fact that there is no distance throw in there, there should be no problem whatsoever of you being able to maintain your color and contrast. So what happens? 3,000 lumens sitting right up on top of the screen. Mine is 3,600 lumens in the next room. Mine is more powerful than a P2 with 3,600 lumens. And that thing sits on the table less than 12 inches to the table, and a gray and white screen won't pick up. So what's the problem? Nothing wrong with the projector. The projector works perfectly fine. Your screen's having the issue. Let's go check out some of these outer space 4K screensavers. This is why one of the biggest fakes I see is basically that try to make it a well-lit environment and they show a lot of colors in there because colors are going to wash out less. Now, if at the end of the day, people make these great paints. Let me explain something to you. Next time you do a color demonstration and you want to talk about your product pulling a level better than darker technology, how about you go pick up some gunmetal technology like a black diamond and do that demonstration in a fully lit environment and display a Starfield demonstration, anything you want. Keep in mind when you use diamond technology and some of the screens they have, you can't use ultra short though, so that would be stripped from you from the door. you'll have to use a long throw projector, which means the 2 million to 1 is gone. Calibrated projector, gone. Try doing that on gunmetal technology before you enter our world at the end of the day, because we can take on gunmetal. But again, you guys can't, because gunmetals can see contrast levels. They can't see it. See, something simple like this. Your screen should never be coming up this color. See my chair? Your screen should be the same color, that black level, as that chair sitting over there. Now, my area is not a dark environment. As you can see, we have plenty of light coming in from the kitchen. Kitchen gets really bright in there. Take out the lights. That's it. And now we just have the lights coming in from the kitchen. Kitchen's very, very bright in there. Now, most people, if they have this set up, what you're going to do is, and this is what's going to happen, you're going to make sure you keep the overheads off, because the overheads are going to wash your screen out really fast. So you're going to have lights in the back, maybe here and here to the corner. Keep those in the back. You don't want anything in the front. Probably put some white lights behind the back of the screen, because that'll give it the illusion that the area is well lit. And then you put some lights at the bottom. Ringing the bell anywhere here. You can't have this here, because this is going to plague the daylights out of your screen. So this has got to go. So they'll probably put a huge black curtain right across here. And then on this side, we do get a lot of light that comes in through the windows. So they're going to put a huge curtain right across here. And then you got to worry about the light coming in from the kitchen. Oh, man. Now you got to put a huge curtain across there. So that's what they have to do. Because any light, the smallest amount of light in that environment is going to cause that screen to wash out. Our technology, on the other hand, doesn't care. I can have this open. I can have that open. I can have the overhead lights on. Really doesn't make a difference. No issues at all. Oh, wait, we forgot the other one. 8K Desired Nature. YouTube. I do this one the most because I've seen someone do this in a really dark environment and try to make it sound like their product could actually see a contrast level when it couldn't. You do know we have network grade 773 in this, right? So if they couldn't pass network gray, they're not going to pass the hobby paint or the bullseye, because they all blend in together. Voila. Can't see it. So options. You can't buy my projector sitting behind me. That's not going to work. My projector is $500, so you can't go near that machine. It's 5,000 lumens. It'll wash your screen out too fast. That's not going to work. So venue projectors don't work at all, period, on white and gray screens. You're going to have to go out and spend some money. You're going to have a much higher contrast level, and that's going to cost you money. You're going to have to be able to pull a lot more colors, even though you will be calibrating them. That's going to cost you extra money. About 3,000, 4,000, maybe $5,000 you'll have to spend. And you're going to have to darken your environment. You can't have any lights on in there. That's going to be a problem. What a shame. Now we say what a shame is because, again, it's the lie you're being told over and over again. They can't make proper products, right? They don't do proper tests. And you're subjected to have a screen that's going to wash out. Most people don't even buy those products. Most people will go in and do it themselves. They'll go to a form site, and the form site will say, well, look, you want to improve your color and contrast a little bit? Black and white paint will work. You go to a form site, any form site will tell you that. And these people go to Home Depot, they go to Lowe's, they buy a little paint, they'll mix up, make their own mix. They'll paint against their screen, think it's going to fix it, and it doesn't work. I even had a customer paint his screen with everyday black paint. Yeah, the results of that one was pretty bad. Now keep in mind, I saw this demonstration on an Optima P2 laser 4K projector sitting in the dark. And that's the only way the image would pull up. You ever seen that demonstration done again in a fully lit environment like this? No. Can never do it. They do that demonstration. It's kind of going to make them look like a bit of a liar, but they already are a liar already at the end of the day, because you could pull that demonstration off and you claim you could do this, and a fully lit environment like this would be a cakewalk, wouldn't it? But the reason why you never see it, because the screen can't do it at a washout on camera, just like the OLED horse washed out, or the Samsung with the black snake and background would wash out also too. So no, people, gray screens don't have that capability. Let's go check out the goldfish over here. Now, I like the goldfish because the goldfish has to show a solid black background. So these screens need to pick up a solid black background and the goldfish at the same time. And if you think this is bad, with this little bit of light we have in here, man, downstairs, far worse. Outside, extremely bad. Why you don't think when we gave out the challenge for a 250-inch screen, I put a challenge out there. Did you know that? That they would have to put up a 250-inch gray screen and display. They couldn't do it. They couldn't do it at 100 inches. They couldn't do it at 150 inches. They couldn't do it at 120 inches because the screen wouldn't display it, wash out. Now, as I said before, they can't see contrast. And if I'm wrong on this, feel free to enlighten me and do the demonstration yourself. Fully lit environment, plenty of light. I would love to see this. Show that your screen can maintain a contrast level and also match that leather chair over there, or your black speakers, or the embezzlement you had around the screen. We had somebody who had, I'm not going to mention who, but you know who, did a demonstration on an OLED horse, and good gracious, my goodness, that was a poor demonstration. Screen literally matched the gray skateboard in the living room and matched the leather couch, or actually gray fabric couch. And then at that, the speakers didn't match. It even had a black embezzlement frame around it. That didn't even match. There was a cord coming from the back of it that was black, didn't even match. Nothing in that area that was black matched to that screen. The screen was seeing gray. An ashy gray at that. So when I rubbed that screen down with some lotion, it was very ashy. Oh, that's a good one right there. I'm keeping that one. Ashy screens. New York City, nighttime, screensaver. There's one with these really ultra black levels. Is this it? I think this is it. It's one of these. It has crazy black levels. If you're doing a New York City display, it's always better to do it in 235.1. Get that whole city display. Now, for those of you going to sit there and say, well, black screens don't pull high enough white levels. Yeah, you're looking at it right there. Right there. You do understand that. I love when people say that about the whole white level thing. Do you understand how white levels work on a projection screen? How they function and how they work? It's very simple. Unless you're going to be sitting there looking at a solid white level all day long, then you may see some issues there. But even in a white level like a snowstorm or white wolves, there is black contrast involved in that. There's detail involved in that. You're not just looking at a solid white level. You're looking at a white level with individual things in that white level. You may have some colors in there. You may have some contrast. That's what you're picking up. Our technology can read it. Because on our test demonstrations displayed on our website, which no one has it on theirs, we show something called a white level test. Oh, we did a couple more on the black screens outside. Oh, there we go. I forgot about this demonstration. This is the really dark demonstration. It is a screensaver. If your screen can't see a contrast level, it comes up gray on the surface. I forgot about this one. I gotta track more of these down. Now, the topic is here. Can your gray screen see a contrast level? Yes or no? We're going to give you a chance to back it up. At the bottom, you can place your link to show me that your screen can see a 100% real black level. I'm not talking about a shade of gray. I'm talking about black. Because the last I checked, gray is not black. Black is black. If your projector is saying it's doing a 2 million to 1 black contrast level, it needs to see black, not 2 million to 1 gray level. Black. Like I said, we all know our colors here, and the last time I checked, now mind you, this is not toward customers, this is customers to help you guys out, but this is toward the people that are out there lying, making statements that these gray products are seeing contrast levels. Don't want to see gray, I want to see a black level. Because that's what you're trying to do. That's what contrast is. Black level contrast. Black, not gray. And stop making statements, you can't back it up. I'm pretty sure that customers that were buying these gray screens were told that they'd have to buy a projector with a high contrast capability. I'm pretty sure you were told to calibrate. You had to be in an ambient light controlled environment. You were told all that already. I even heard it on camera a couple of times. I heard somebody say on camera, we know who sat there and said the picture will get better for the customer once he calibrates the projector. That's pretty bad. I remember in those particular demonstrations where they were advising that you had to calibrate your screen, how to calibrate your projector, had to. You know why? To make up for something that the screen can't do. They already know at the end of the day you're not going to pull contrast. They know your color's going to come out poor. They know you're going to be stuck in these dark environments. They know this already. They just tell you this stuff. It's simple protocol. So that way their screen doesn't come out to be a failure. If you have a whopping, until you get a whopping 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 on the projector, the chances of your screen washing out is going to be less because again they advise you to get a much more expensive high-end lumen projector to fix for what the screen can't pull up because they know it's going to have issues in that environment. So let me advise you to buy something expensive that I know is going to fix the problem that my screen's going to have later on if you stick it in that environment, because now you're going to take it out of the comfort zone. It's used to being in that ambient light controlled environment, nice and dark, calibrated, but got to remember, all customers are not going to be the same. You're going to have some people that are going to take it out of that environment and stick it someplace else. And you have to make sure it's going to work right while it's in that environment. So let me advise them to buy this expensive projector to fix whatever nonsense that screen's going to have because it's out of the comfort zone. I know you guys already too well. So what advice would they give you for these screens? Well, again, ambient light controlled environment, because you definitely can't use the overheads. That's not going to happen. For this environment here, how would they advise me to set up one of these gray screens? Well, we got plenty of power, so I guess they'll probably stay with that, but they'll probably advise me to get a 4K projector instead of the 1080p model I have here. They definitely want me to put a curtain across this. I've got to block all that light out. You can't have that coming in. It's going to wash my screen out. That's definitely going to be a problem over there because my lights come on, it could generate in here. The door could generate light in here. That could generate light in here. Say if that screen wasn't there, do you have any idea how much light pushes into some room from that screen up in there? So this is going to have a curtain across it. We are definitely going to be putting a curtain across there. There's no window, here's a giant mirror. So that's definitely going to happen. And this overhead light, we can't use it. It's too close to the screen. So they're going to advise me to put lights here and here. So that way, they're away from the screen. So you mean to tell me, I went out and spent this money for a screen, painted over top of it, bought this expensive projector to calibrate and turn my environment into this freaking medieval dungeon. That's what it kind of looks like in there. So I can basically watch a projection screen. You might just go buy a TV. Buy a TV, take it out of the box. We're done. That's it. This and that. Leave everything exactly the way it is. That's pretty embarrassing. Certified screens, almost same story, almost same story. Still ambient light controlled environment, high-end projector, expensive projector, calibrated projector, same thing, except for more money. Just $3,000, $4,000 for projection screen, and another probably got for taking $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 for a projector in the background. Yeah. Yep. Our customers, pretty easy. Paint the screen in or set the screen up, get the projector on, just the way they like it. Don't change the lights, don't keep everything on, and watch a movie. That's it. Calibrate what? I don't calibrate jack at the end of the day. Let me see, where we're going to go to next. I like that demonstration. Anything else in your contrast? Oh, wait. What's this? No, we already did that one already. Let's do LG Beta Fish. Do the first beginning of that one. Pretty dark. This is why when you see me sitting there watching ultra short throws, literally kissing the screen, and you can't pick up a contrast level with all that power. That's like someone making the world's biggest, most advanced cannon on the face of the planet. It's huge, massive. This thing looks like it can just blow out the side of a planet easily. When this thing finally gets all warmed up and fires a laser, it does nothing at all. Barely puts a little dink in the target. That's it. And what the frick was all that for? All that money spent for this powerful weapon, and it fires up and it does barely nothing to the target at all, period. That's what an ultra short throw resembles when it hits a screen at 3,000 lumens, less than 12 inches from the screen, all that power, bam, hitting the screen, and nothing comes back. You're still sitting in the dark, because the reason why you can't turn your lights on, because your screen will wash out. You can't see colors, but 2 million to 1 contrast level, you can't even see contrast. That's pretty bad. Can't even pick up colors correctly. This is why when I go to forum sites and I talk to people who have those OLED TVs, we call them Stonehenge effect, because they got the TV in the middle and they got these giant speakers that wrap around. I call it the Stonehenge effect. And the first thing I say, hey, how come you guys don't get a projection screen? How come you don't get a projection screen? How come you guys got all TVs up in here? What's the deal? And the guy was like, what the freak I want that trash for at the end of the day? Get stuck in the dark all day long, screens don't pull 100% contrast level? Yeah, they got you on that one. You do not pull 100% contrast level. It's not going to happen. Now, they can't say calibrate because I've seen people calibrate those TVs all the time. So they really can't say that because I've seen them calibrate TVs. All right, so you can't go there. But they do got a point that you are going to be stuck in the dark and you can't pull up colors and contrast correctly. Even with their TVs, when they turn them on, they really don't have to calibrate them. At the end of the day, you automatically got to calibrate one of these projectors from the door if you're using one of these screens. Not our technology, we don't have that issue. Kind of come off bed. It's hassle-free with a TV. You got contrast right from the door. You got colors right from the door. Gray screen, you got a washed out image. You got it stuck in the dark somewhere. And some people at the end of the day most people don't want to calibrate. Like you used to tell me, well, you know, if you get this projector to calibrate what? What the freak am I calibrating? Half people don't even know how to calibrate and don't want to calibrate. So I got to sit there and painstakingly calibrate this machine that I spent all this money for so I can see a decent color in a somewhat poorly lit environment. That's literally what you just did to yourself. Now with our technology, we can pick up a 100% black level. Yeah, we can have our lights on. We're ultra short throw compatible, which certified screens don't like us on that one because you guys aren't ultra short throw compatible. It's just a certain screen to pull up on an ultra short throw, which we don't require. We can run anything. Certified screens are stuck inside. We can go outside if we want to at 250 inches or bigger and still do that at 18 feet back on a 720p $270 projector. They can't do that. Our customers have the option to paint the screen size they want. 32 ounces, they have a choice of 100 inch all the way to 160 inches, where a certified screen at 100 inches would cost you 3 to 5 grand. And yet, out of it all, in the end, none of them can see a black level except for us, which I'm displaying right now in a fully lit environment while we got lots of light pushing into the room. Make our light stop, give them a chance. And as for the gray screen products, well, I already told you the story behind that mess. Let's take them back up those contrast levels and produce better color. And on top of that, try to at least beat some of these great products out here. So at the end of the day, you feel that you're getting an actual product and not a can of everyday house paint that you could have picked up yourself. Yeah. Let that play right there. Batman versus Superman. I can do that with the light, so it's not a problem. That's pretty bad, ain't it? Well, you guys talking about how we're in the forum sites all the time, and I hear you guys in there running your mouths, talking about how, oh, my gray screen pulls contrast levels, my gray screen can see black levels, and blah 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 blah. And I'm just sitting there watching y'all, comments popping up in the room, and I come and go, no, you're all a bunch of liars. You cannot see contrast. You don't pick it up. You can't register it. You don't have the capability of pulling it. It doesn't work for you. And the first time I get it, what kind of proof you got? And then I pull out one of those black screens, and then it shuts it down. Then I get the every once in a while, oh, but I could do the same thing with black paint. We show our demonstrations on black paint, we shut it down. Well, certified screens we shut it down. Well, white screens, we shut it down. Outside, we shut it down. Ultra short though, we shut it down. Venue projectors, shut it down. Can I get the point there? This is what makes our technology so dangerous. And then even more dangerous, the certified screens, everything you see around us was developed within minutes. It takes us 20 minutes to develop this technology. Within the day it was first painted on, it wiped out every single thing we laid against it. At 10%, they wiped out just about every screen we can put against the screen. And now at 100%, this is why we consider them to be unstoppable. There's nothing they can't do. We got a screen right there displaying on the table right now with all that light pushing in, and it's not even fading or washing out the screen. This is the most advanced ambient light projection technology we've ever developed. So for the certified companies, it takes you years to develop technology. We can literally build an entire company up in less than weeks with the test to back up all products on every level you can possibly think of. So imagine what would happen if we took the time out to do a year worth of research on the Beyond 67s now. This is a 20-minute technology. And the Beyond 67s are going to take a year to engineer. So imagine the freaking nightmare that comes out of those jumpers at the end of the day. And those are going to be physical screens. They are going to be monsters. Yeah, it's going to be pretty bad. It's going to be pretty bad for those people in that field that are going to have to go against that technology. As for the customers, it's going to be extremely wonderful because, again, there'll be no more of that 3,000, 5,000. You have to be on an ultra short though to use this screen. You got to be stuck in dark environments. You got to calibrate this. You got to calibrate that. Blah, 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 blah. Put it into that nonsense. You know the freedom I have at the end of the day that I developed this technology, that I never, ever have to worry about spending money for an expensive projector. Never have to worry about being in dark environments. Don't have to calibrate. I have the freedom to do what I like at the end of the day. If I were to display up my store, I can put the floor, I can do the floor, I can do the ceiling, I can even project through glass if I want. And then I go shopping for a projector, it's just like, we don't have to worry about ultra short throw, we don't have to worry about long throw, we don't have to worry about how many lumens we need, if it's 4K, if it's 720p, if it's 1080p. Not even has an HDMI adapter, because half the stuff I use on here, we don't even use HDMI, we use basically VGA HDMI adapters for it. I can spend $34 for a projector, $60 for a projector. I'm still going to be able to maintain my image. That's much more advanced than a certified projection screen using a 4K projector. That's what you call peace of mind. And I can paint whatever size I want. I can take an all-white motorized projection screen and convert it into technology that's way beyond what they have. As a matter of fact, I did that one demonstration. I took a $68 white eBay projection screen, coated it with our technology, and used it to blow out a $3,000 Dark Star 9 with a projector that cost me $200, and did it in a fully lit environment at the exact same time. So that's what they have to worry about at the end of the day. Because by the time it takes them to get around to, if it takes you, good gracious, more than a week, oh, they're going to have problems in the day. You're definitely going to have problems. It takes quite a while to develop. It took Diamond, I think he did it in 11 years. 11 years he did for his technology, about 11 years. 11 years, somewhere in that range. So if it takes you, good gracious, how much technology we can develop in 1 year would be insane. Yeah, that pretty much would be it. It's baffling when you really think about it. I'm not bragging anything, it's just really baffling. I told you, our technology comes from God at the end of the day. Everything we have here comes from God. As a matter of fact, when I was on the computer working, updated the website, Lord blessed me with the idea for the outdoor screen. Got up, walked away from the computer, went downstairs and made it, came with a container. Here's the outdoor product right here. We have it outside right now. The demonstration is off. Freaking insane. Yeah, yes, sir. So if it takes that long to develop a screen, good gracious, by then, yeah, we're going to have some pretty crazy stuff. Like I said, we're going to have our own physical screens. Oh, let's do Batman versus Bane. I like this one. Really dark contrast levels, eh?
Let's not stand up ceremony here. Mr. Wayne.
Like I said, powered by God's technology. Anything that comes from God is unstoppable. Isn't that interesting? You can sit here and watch Batman at Alexis, what time is it?
The time is 10:46 a.m.
10:46. Thank you. 10:46. At 10:46, I can sit here and I can watch watch Batman with all this light coming in. Yeah, that's what I said. At the end of the day, products are prehistoric. So what we learned here today, ladies and gentlemen, that gray screens, no, cannot see contrast levels. They don't pick up color. And next to a silver screen, well, that one took itself down. Next to a silver screen, they don't even pick up proper white levels. Did that attack you? Did that just attack you? And the gunmetal technology is much more advanced than, yes, even though we can take out a gunmetal easily, but a gunmetal technology is much more advanced than a gray screen or white screen. There's a reason why that screen costs $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. They're really good screens. That's why we like doing demonstrations, get some good, extremely good screens to do demonstrations to get. I like the certified screens. I just thought about that. Yeah, the technology was developed in like 20 minutes. We developed all this stuff. So it's going to take us about, well, the reason why it's going to take us about a year or so, because again, we're building physical screens, motorized projection screens. Again, I looked at the research for building one of those. That takes some time. Oh, and on top of that, I was able to obtain a master welder. One of my customers that came down and picked up some of my projectors, he's a master welder. He's a certified welder. So he's going to help us with a lot of our projects. We want to design for the gaming set of it all. We want to have some customized gaming projectors, can mod out projectors, kind of custom designs. And we want to have our own driving cockpits and all that stuff like that, flight simulators and stuff like that. So he's going to help us with those projects. Jeremiah was a fool from. I'm always one that likes to do a little extra sometimes. I really need to go pick up some frog tape. But now, as I said before, that when we're out there, you know, things I got to do, because I've done all the testing I could online, possibly think of, that we're not gonna run into gray screens. That's not something we're gonna run into. We're gonna run into a lot of white screens. That's what we're gonna run into. That's what we're gonna be seeing. So, every once in a while, it might pop up that what if I use a gray house paint or something? Maybe that'll fix it. That comes up from time to time in conversations. But as we showed you, it doesn't do any good at all, period. You still can't see your contrast level. That's not going to pick up. That's not going to work at all, period. That's a $5,000 certified screen right there, laying against our black technology. Now, that screen right there, next to a gray or white screen, would destroy it because it's darker technology. The one thing that plagues the certified screens is that they're dark and they put a reflective surface on it to try to maintain higher white levels, because even they know if they darken the screen that the white levels are going to suffer. So they put this reflective surface on it. The problem with the reflective surface, sometimes it doesn't play well with ultra short throw projectors, and sometimes it has a really hard difficult time picking up on an angle, which they call a narrow viewing cone effect. And that causes the screen to go dark around the edges. These are top certified screens, the gunmetals that we like to use in our demonstrations. The reason why I know that the other people claim to make these products, why you don't take your test seriously, because you should have a collection of these screens, which you don't have. So again, we test against these, but you don't. So I don't know how you keep putting yourself in our category. I don't know. Let's get you up close so you can see that right there. Now that screen right there, that right there is a DMP Supernova. They're around $4,000 to $5,000. Now, the reason why they also can't do these demonstrations is because if you depend on an ultra short throw to do your demonstrations on, you can't go near these screens because these screens have to be used on long throw projectors. They don't work on ultra short throws. Now, let's just say if a company had a certain budget that they got from the government, and they needed to decide what kind of screens that they were going to put in their establishment. Number one, they want to save money. They do. I don't care how much money you get. You want to save money because that's money that you can put elsewhere too on top of that from that funding. So they need something. At the end of the day, it's going to do exactly what it's designed to do, and it's going to be very affordable. Certified screens, I will listen up on this one real quickly. So your product would cost them for just a 100-inch anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000 a screen. They're going for the top screens. Oh, that's interesting. Never noticed that. It's pretty cool. So that's the problem they would have there. Our technology, on the other hand, would cost them at a 160-inch screen. For this technology, well, actually the black one's around $473, but that's what it would cost them. And that would paint a screen up to 160 inches. Can use with ultra short throw, fully lit environments. So we don't use ambient light control, so we don't have that issue. Can't seem to track that one down. But you can find that one. That's a really dark gunmetal, right? That's gunmetal. I want gunmetal. I want it too light. This one's a little too light right here. That's why you should have certified screens on hand for test demonstration. If you don't have them on hand, there's something wrong there. Here we go. My personal favorite. I like the Dark Star 9. It's my favorite. All of you, like, what's your favorite Dark Star 9? It's my favorite. These are the tests you guys refuse to do. Of course you refuse to go against gunmetal. Gunmetal's for darker screens. Gunmetal puts your screen to shame. That's why you won't go near them. Yeah. Dark Star 9. Look how dark that gunmetal is. Beautiful, ain't it? Beautiful gunmetal. Now, those people that are making screen paint products that are claiming to have darker screens paints, the problem we have with your problem is that you have so much black paint in your product that it can't even pour properly on a white surface. It comes up too dark. It comes up very, very, very dirty. So we need another certified up there. What's the Infinity or Blade or Infinity? I get those mixed up. I think this is a darker one right here. And that one. Let me see which one this one is here. Whoa, I forgot. I almost forgot. We got to put a white sheet of paper up there. It's very important. I need that one right there. Now, like I said, I would never say that a certified screen doesn't work, because it does work. It does exactly what it's designed to do. It's designed to perform better than a white screen. It's designed to pick up better contrast, better color, and maintain its white levels. We'll put that one right there. The white screen right there. All right? But this is not a white screen. This is black technology. We want to make sure this is laying nice and flat. Let me get me another piece of tape, because it has to lay perfectly flat. If it doesn't, and it has to see where it sticks out, you can't have that. You can't have that at all. That's going to be a problem. You can't have that. That has to lay perfectly flat to the surface. I see people do that, and when they do demonstrations against certified screens, they'll be buckling out from the screen. You can't do that, because that's going to cause the screen to go dark around the edges, and that's not a fair demonstration. You're cheating. I can't stand people cheat at the end of the day. I seen somebody had a sample sheet, was all bent up, had lines all in it and everything. Like, what in the world? You can't use that. You have that's a reflective surface, so it has that narrow unicle. It still has to lay flat. You can't have lines and ridges all in there like that. That is a shame. All right, let's get this done. Now we got the certifieds up here. We got $3,000, $5,000, $4,000, and a white sheet of paper.
So when did you get your car fixed after you started it back up? No, not yet, Linda. So what the hell is up here with Lynn?
I get so sick and tired of hearing these whiny screen paint makers cry and whine about our prices over here. Oh, they're so expensive. Well, how about you pass some of my test demonstrations and prove that you make a proper product, and then maybe to get the money that your product is worth. Keep in mind, I have already received offers for my technology to sell out. I've already received offers from somebody who wants to market my product at $3,000 a quart, because my technology can wipe out certified $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 projection screens. But I choose to charge the price that I charge for it, because at the end of the day, I want everybody to be able to actually be able to afford the screen. And also, by doing this at the end of the day, big companies such like this can't afford to come down to my level, because their capital would implode. They can't afford to bring the prices down this low. They would lose too much money. The company would hemorrhage. So they can't come down to my price level. And it takes them too long to develop a screen. So, yeah. But when you sit there and whine and cry about, oh, we just said the other, I don't see you doing my tests. Go to my sites. Look, I got pages, dedicated web pages. This entire page is dedicated to test. Now go to your pages. Yeah, I've seen coloring books with more pages at the end of the day. So before you start complaining about this, that, and the other, and some of y'all have seen from your pages, y'all can't even back up what y'all talk about in your demonstrations. Can't even back them up. Keep in mind, people, we gave these people open mics to come in and explain, and they couldn't do anything but rant and carry on. So before you start carrying on and being upset by Mr. Bird's technology, I would suggest you back yours up first. And the first thing you need to get over is don't worry about the certifies right now. Don't worry about our technology. Worry about house paint, because that's something you're struggling with right now. That's something we don't have a problem with. Because we have individuals that sit there and cry and whine all day about how they can't see why you're not passing house paint. Somebody got beat by network grade 773. Good gracious. Shelf paint. Can't beat a shelf paint. There's going to be problems there. Starfield screensaver, YouTube. You can't beat a basic house paint, then what? The reason why they stay away from slip silver, because that stuff is cheap. Very cheap. But then again, the fact that they haven't done the demonstrations also does more damage. The color red, YouTube. We're doing this for fun. We've already passed everything else. There you go. We would get the contract. We have a high, more performance screen. Our screen costs far less, and they would save a lot of money on the grant they got from whatever state that funded it to them, because their technology is far more cheaper. No certified screen can actually go against this technology. None. And the ones we have requested for, ignore us. So we already know from the door what we have. Blue screen, YouTube. And you guys are so worried about, we got individuals that are so worried about what we're doing over here, you can't even get past house paint. And we're over here doing certifies. Got to get past that house paint first. Then you can move on to certifies, and then you can go near us. Trying to say that our products come up so dark you can't see them. Well, this is certified screen. This isn't a gray screen paint mix. These are certified screens, and yeah, we don't seem to be having that problem. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Yeah, it's easy. Let's go with that. AK Desired Nature, YouTube. The heck are you staring at? Cat's over here bugging out.
I want America with Airwick. Get into the spirit with authentic holiday sets.
Go, go. Fancy gum. Icebreakers. Fancy.
Now the gunmetal screens, like I said, are designed to pull heavy contrast levels. But our contrast levels are more advanced than the gunmetal. If any gunmetal certified screen out there on the market wants to challenge that theory, you have my email, you can contact me. If you feel that your gunmetal screen can surpass our black technology, and keep in mind the whole purpose of gunmetal is to produce a darker contrast level. If you feel you pull the highest contrast level of all projection screens, hit me up and I'll show you you're not. This is why we got certain companies that request it, or YouTubers, I'm not going to mention any names, that requested samples of our technology. And again, there's just no point. I watch the demonstrations. If I'm seeing screens sitting in a lot of dark environments, ambient light controlled environments, and all that nonsense, there is no point. Just save yourself the embarrassment. Your product won't work over here. Not on that stuff. So we got a little more in that. Anytime I do stuff like that, I like to show more. I do. Where some people, when they do demonstrations, they want to get through the demonstration as fast as possible. But us, I don't have a problem with that. I'll show you as much as you need to see. I don't like to talk about something and not back it up. If I'm on here doing a demonstration about gray screens, can't see contrast, I'm definitely going to show you that. But if I start talking about certified screens, I can't talk about that and not back that up. Something ain't right there. So that's how I work at the end of the day. So if I'm sitting there, like I said, and I'm talking about gray screen paint products, and I'm showing you they don't work, and I mentioned something about certified screens, and guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to back that up too, which I'm doing right now. And so the video takes a little longer. Well, hey, you got to be the back of what you can do at the end of the day. I got tons of these on the site. Now, like I said, certified screens do exactly what they're designed to do. Yes, they pick up better images any day than any gray or white screen. They do, by far. But next to our technology, we're not gray or white. We're black. So it's kind of hard to beat a screen that can pull 100% contrast level, maintain its white levels, and picks up a perfect color balance. You're going to have a problem with that. And if you've been using your screens in ambient light controlled environments and you're using caliber and high-end projectors, you're going to have an issue with this machine, with this screen. Stop, I'm doing your
With the pro, would you place me?
What in the world? Oh, this side. Just cut off and I walked away for a minute. See the now revealing comb effect? So how dark it becomes. See how light it becomes. See how dark it becomes. It's called a narrow viewing comb effect. That one doesn't have it that bad. This one does have it. This one has it, but this one doesn't have it. That's one thing about daylight screen. Daylight screen's narrow viewing comb effect is pretty good. It's extremely good. So, best way to show you this, so you can see this a little better. Got this in here messing around. Ugh. I had somebody say, well, your projector's sitting right next to the screen. Heck, we tried it with gray and a gray screen and a white screen didn't pick up. Cancel. White screen saver. YouTube. All right. When we start to turn slowly, get my body out of the way. So the dark, see right there? As you start to turn, when the screens turn dark, that triggers off the narrow viewing comb effect. Red screen. Right in the front, turn to the side, turns dark. It's called a narrow viewing comb effect. Happens when they have that kind of reflective surface. Some of them have it really bad. So as I start to turn, watch this, see? So it turns dark. Same thing with this one. So it turns dark. Daylight actually has an extremely good, I mean really good, narrow viewing comb. Like, they don't pick up, they don't have that issue. That's one thing I noticed when I was testing, that when I wanted to go turn to the side, that the daylight screen didn't pick up any of it. And I mean none of it at all, period. It stayed perfect, even when I went to go turn to the side. My camera phone out. I think my stand just broke. There will be another one today. But yeah, that's what I found impressive about the daylight screen. See how it still remains, even though it doesn't pick color up next to our screen, of course, but still it doesn't go dark when you turn from left to right. These are 3,000, 5,000 projection screens, 4,000 that can't pick up next to our black technology. Okay, well, with that being said, got to get out of here. Thank you for your time, and God bless.